Bro, my usual mic's being messed up, so I am here. Just give me a second to... This thing died on me. I gotta get it back on! Give me a second. Oh, there we go. Yank was on it tonight, bro. He was on it. It sucks for him that he can't really help me repair much today, because this is going to be a pretty boring stream, I hate to say. It's just going to be us going through this here list and putting together these more boards. I made some posts on the forums for Gameplan pinball users, and I have a lot of people who want these boards, so we got to get moving, because I only have 2 of them done. And it's a lot of soldering. So here's the one I started the other day. So we broke some rules here with not following the list. But we are very adamant to follow the list these days, because that is how you make sure everything gets soldered into place correctly. And make sure you don't miss a fucking solder pad. Because when you miss a solder pad, that's how you end up with an unworking board, and it takes you, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 months to figure out why? Yeah, that really sucked. I should have just made another one. I was getting to the point where I was just going to make another one and see if that one worked, but thankfully we got there eventually. I was starting to think that I had some bad chips. It was such a mess. It was such a mess. Also, oh, I didn't bring them down here, but I got in my my Intellivision all the games in one cartridge, and I also got my ColecoVision all the games in one cartridge board. So I need to take them to work and cut them in the PCB cutter, because they're in panels. Yeah. Oh, grass puddle. The yeah, the Japanese what's it called? Yeah, the token slot machine. Yeah, that I got those. Would you believe I got both of those out of the basement of a nursing home? I guess that is easy to believe. Nursing home people seem to love to gamble. I don't know what that's about. You get old and suddenly have a desire to gamble, I guess. Anyways, we can actually test these boards here on the bench, because I'm a mad scientist. Here's the completed one. And I have, this is going to make the camera flip out, but I want to show you. This is the Gameplan power supply that I have ripped out of my pinball machine and rewired one of the connectors so that we can plug it into our game board. And this is plugged into my isolation transformer so that I can't blow myself up, because that is something we want to make sure we don't do. So now that this is the completed one plugged in, and if I turn on my isolation transformer, we can see we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 beeps, which means this board is completely working. It has passed all checks and it's ready to go. So when we solder up our next one, we will do the same test and make sure that it passes that test. If it passes that test, it is most likely ready to go. We'll still throw it in the pinball machine as a secondary test, just because I think that that's smart, in case there's some weird interaction that the CPU test didn't catch or something, like a solenoid doesn't flip, or I don't know. Anyways, we better get going if we're going to go to bed at a decent hour tonight. So install the 2200 picofarad 221 capacitor at location C2. This can be inserted in either direction, since polarity does not matter. Is that what this starts? No, that's out of order. Yeah, that's the middle pit. I was going to say, why would we start with that? Okay, here we go. We're starting with all the resistors. That makes more sense. Okay, so we need 100 ohm resistors. We have 100 ohm resistors up here. Here's our 100 ohms. And something else I like to do as we go through this is test my units, because the last thing we need is to install a bad part and then spend the rest of the fucking, how long did I take the other one today? 4 months. Yes, some super cartridges, I guess we'll call them. Yeah, Intellivision super cartridge and a, they're actually running in Raspberry Pi Picos, and this nice Italian man made the code open source. Thank you, Italian man. He's not a plumber though. Very sad. And he said, if anyone wants to sell them or make them or whatever, be my guest. I just made one for myself and I made it open source, and that's all he wanted to do. So I said, well, screw it. I got a 3D printer. I got, you know, I can make these on PCBWay and then solder them up, because it's really simple soldering. It's just like a 44 pin, 22, is it 22 pin? I think it's 22 pin, and then a single button. That's like the whole thing. So it's like, well, shit, I can do that. So this is also my test to see what parts we need to order more of, because most of my supply is just stuff I've gotten from auctions and stuff. I went to this nice electronics auction, electronics repair auction, like 2 hours away from my house. Somehow managed to get my wife to go with me. That was great. And we got so much good stuff for so cheap. It was incredible. So many organizers, and the guy was like an electronics calibrator. Ooh, that resistor was right on the money, down to 2 decimal points. So he had these like $10,000, $20,000 fluke calibrators for like multimeters and thermistors and like all this crazy stuff. So most of the people at the auction were after that, and I was after all the organizers full of random chips. And some of the chips were like from the 70s and 80s, so they were gold topped. And I ended up making a couple $100 just off those chips because collectors wanted them. Not just because of the gold, 5, 6, 7. Not just because of the gold, but because there's like a group, there's a good amount of people out there that just collect rare ICs. They literally just like rare ICs. And some of the ones I had, I guess, were rare. One of them was actually a specialty order. Chip. It was like a gold capped, and it just had like a military contract serial number on it. So the one guy who bought most of them, I threw that in with some stuff, and he took the lid off to try to see what it was, and it was completely custom. So he could not figure it out. He has no idea what it was. But I wish he could have figured it out. I was kind of hoping, but he took the lid off, and I guess once you take the lid off, if the pattern in the chip looks like something common, then you can go, oh, this is just a renamed blah blah blah. But that was not the case. So we just didn't get to learn what that one was. And once I do enough of these in succession, I will get a lot faster at this. But right now, since I haven't done one in 4 months, because I was troubleshooting my first one for so long, where are all these 100s? Should have 7 of them. I bet you they're all grouped together somewhere, though. Probably, yep, they're all right here. There they all are. So there should be 6. 1, 2, 3, yep, that's all of them. I was like, I'll start stream here, and I'll text Yank, and oh shit, he's already here. Man, he's on it tonight. That man is on it tonight. I don't know if you got the note. I did do a little different. Instead of just starting stream abruptly, I like told it, I made the stream, and then I don't know if on YouTube it said like starting soon or something. I assume it did, because I didn't start the broadcast yet, but I started the broadcast, but I hadn't started the stream. That's what I'm trying to say. And yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, buddy. Gonna get that money. I implore you guys to watch Joe's classic video games on YouTube. God, I love those YouTube videos. It's just great lunch material. You get to learn about a machine you've never heard of, you know. Or you get to watch an expert at work troubleshoot something, and then you get better as a troubleshooter because of it. Just great content. They're funny as hell in a really dry, like southern type of way. I like it. We shall have no cold joints on this board. I will not be plagued by a cold joint again. Oh, it looks like when I put all those ones in over here, I didn't solder them in. They're just floating. So I better do that. Come on, buddy. So if you have a Gameplan pinball machine and you need a new logic board, hit me up. Or if you're inclined to do the work yourself, the Git repo is open source for these. I did not make this board. Well, I did not, what should I say? I did not design this board, I just made it. So, and of course when you order, I just wanted to fix my pinball machine, but of course when you order on PCBWay, what do they want you to do? They want you to get like 20 boards, right? They don't want you to get one. So, and they make it so cheap to add a few. I was like, oh shit, I don't know, maybe I'll solder a few other ones together. And maybe, you know, my first one doesn't work. And if that happens, I'm gonna want another one, so. Right? How's the lag tonight, lads? Is it any better? I actually did call the ISP. They weren't very helpful, but they told me they'd look into it, so. I don't know if they'll send someone out here to do test. I just don't know what happened because this worked fine before I went on vacation. Literally. It worked fantastic. And then after, I get back, and it's fucking screwed. I sold some more of my vintage computers today. I think it's coming back. I don't know if you guys do a lot of online selling on eBay or anything else, but I find, at least in the vintage computer world, this is a rough time. Like January through now, like the end of February before tax return season really starts kicking off. Let me catch up with you guys. Grass puddle in the hotel? Hanging out with me in the hotel? That's awesome. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. I don't know what that came from, but where's our button? Just saw him. There he is. Put our button in. There we go. That's our first thing of resistors. We need a single 220 ohm resistor on the board. We got quite the collection of those. 220 ohm at R32. Test our resistor. That is a 220 resistor for sure. He is going on to R82. So that's going to be 82. $50, $60. I told you I'll get a lot faster at this once I do a few of them in succession and not over the span of a bunch of months. There it is. 220. So, since I had to get a PhD in how this board works to get my first one to work all over a bad solder joint, I can kind of talk to you through it while I'm doing all this work, because I might as well say something, right? I hope the jazz music is working and everything. I assume it is. Because you need something while you're sitting here watching me do this. So, logic of this board is, all your voltages are going to come in right here at J1. All right? And from the game plan, back in Columbus, where we know Grass Puddle loves to be. Yes, Yank, let's hear it, and then I'll talk about the board. Now I need to get a single 270 ohm. Single 270 ohm. So the 220 can go back up. After I shut down my computer to repaste the cooler, I popped off my fans and grabbed my driver to take off the cooler. That is a 270 ohm, and that is at R77. 77. It's going to be another one off. There it is. It is our diode light. These are the really fast tasks that are just single. Now we need two 330s. 330s. Here's the 330s. The whole top of the cooler wasn't even attached anymore. The screw backed out totally, so only bottom ones were holding it. So half the block was cooling it, top half not even making contact anymore. So did you get some computer performance out of doing this then, I imagine? You got a lot of cooling, added cooling to your CPU, so I imagine your computer performance has improved significantly. This is R24 and R25, which are in our clock line. Okay, there's our 330s. And I ran off with the damn pen. Oh no, I didn't. A single 470 is next. 470, is that up in our bins? It is up in our bins. What's up, Yeti? What's up, Yeti? That is definitely a 470 ohm, and it is at R52. R52. Did I say it was 470? Yeah. It's going to be another one off. There it is, 470 R52. Almost done with all the weird one-off resistors, and then we can get into the big boys where we do like a shit ton of them at one time. That's a trace, oh. Okay. Alright, that's 470. Next, we need to do 13 1K ohms. That's what I'm talking about. 13 1Ks. We have a lot of 1Ks. Yes, we do. We need 13 of them. So we'll go through and test all these, make sure they're all good, because we are using random surplus we got from an estate sale, so I'd always check them when we go through the ones, when we get to, what? We get to digit, see, and that's why that one's reading 268. That does not belong in there. That's 1K. 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 Okay. Here's all of our 1Ks. These all go in generally the same area, I imagine. Oh no, is this our 1Ks? Yes. No, that's 10K. That's 10K. That's not our 1Ks. I see some 1Ks. Okay. For a second. Oh, there they all are. They're all right here. I need to get a little chat screen over here so I can see what you guys are saying without having to turn around over and over again. And the cooler just kept this pig from overheating on half block. I'd say you got pretty lucky. That's what I'd say. Okay. So I got a lot of these boards, so I will be doing a lot of hand soldering on these for quite a while. But in the future, I hope that I can get a bomb list made up and get it, if the demand shows that more people want them than what I have, I'll just get a bomb list made up and get them printed or get them made in China somewhere with all the parts pre-populated so I don't have to hand solder all these. Anyone can literally do that though. And that's the problem I found when I was fixing my Gameplan machine. So I was like, okay, the MPU board on this is definitely bad. How can I get a new one? Someone's got to make a new one, right? No. No, it took me forever to find one, and then when I found it, it was out of stock and hadn't been restocked for like 3 or 4 years. And I was like, well, shit. And then what do you do as a, engineer or whatever? You make your own solution. You go, okay, if I can't buy a solution, I'm going to make a solution. And then I found that the files for this board that I couldn't find to purchase anywhere were just on PCBWay. I said, well, shit, it's open source. I will just make it. So I did. Okay, so we got 3 more. One goes right over here. Let me find where our other 2 go. One goes right here. Did I get 1 too many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What? I got 12. There should be 13. So yeah, there's one more somewheres. Somewheres. Unless the guy who made this up just can't count. I'm not seeing one. It's 13, right? 13, it's all the 13. So, yep, all those, or all these. 43. Was a smidge over 50 before. Damn. Yeah, that's pretty big difference there. That is impressive that your computer didn't explode, and it's good that you're back on the horse. Wonder how much better performance you're going to get out of it now that it's not so damn hot all the time. I'm not seeing where this goes. I'm thinking it's lying to me. I think there's only 12 of these on here. I have other blank boards. Let me get another blank board. So we got 81 that we did, and we did 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2, 3, 4, 5. We did 24 and 81. And 11, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. R43 is near U16. Ah, that is the one I'm missing. It knew to tell me too. It put it in the description. Psst, by the way, if you can't find one, it's near U16. Thank you, guide. It knew I was gonna lose that one. That's so funny that that hint was in there. It knew people would have trouble finding that one. All right, that's another one done. That's our 13 1K ohms. Now we need 12 1.5 Ks, which I don't see a bin for, which means this is the first time we'll be dipping into our DigiKey box. There should be those in there. Like you got a new computer, seriously. It's funny. Okay, here's all our chips. This is tons of random stuff. 1.5Ks, here they are. And since this is DigiKey, I won't test them. I trust DigiKey, I don't trust the random shit I got off the internet. So we need 12 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What do you guys think of the camera? You think it's a little too far, too close? I can move it a little closer. I know it's gonna flip out. Just ignore it for a second. Just ignore it. Oh, did it bug? Damn it. This is what I get for messing with it, huh? This is what I get for messing with it. Oh, it's really bugged now, huh? That's awesome. What if I go here? No, it literally won't change. I might have to restart OBS. 1 second. Hate this freaking computer, man. The USBs do not cooperate with me. Ah, there it went. Let's close this. Yeah, of course I fucked with it, and now I'm pissed off at myself for doing so. You streaming on the hotel TV, bro? Oh, great. Now we royally fucked it. Now it's giving me device not recognized. Woohoo! All right, guys. This is... Craspo's like, some of my pixels are different. What happened? Yeah, USB device not recognized. All right. And there go all of our viewers. Thank you. Thank you, shitty-ass computer, for doing this to me. And I bet you it won't fix it unless I restart the computer. Because when this... Yep, USB device is still not recognized. When this computer gets in a way like this, it is just straight fucked. This stream's always fucked, man. What is up with that? Alright, let me shut down. Hey look, I'm back. Can we fix solder bench cam now? No. I will unplug our desktop cam because we are not going to be using it today. And we will plug this into that and see if that works. Wow! That looks really good. What do you guys think? What could have happened? Why is it... What the hell? What could possibly be going wrong with it? It's just a camera. I didn't even do anything. What did I do?